The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple123 Trader. Welcome to tonight's Auto123 presentation. This is a welcome for everyone who is joining us. Glad that you can attend, and we're really glad to have you with us. We appreciate your attendance, taking the time to out of your day, night, to join us here. With me tonight in this presentation is the co-founder of ForexMentor.com, Mr. Peter Bain, who's with me here in Victoria, beautiful British Columbia, Canada.
Hello, everybody.
And with me also from the eastern seaboard of the United States of America in New Jersey, New York State, is Mr. George Pitcher.
Good evening from New Jersey, everyone.
Evening, good evening. With us also in the background is Mr. Vic Young. He's our admin, and he takes care of all this kind of stuff, the presentations and all that kind of good stuff, and make sure you guys are all humming along with your software and back-end stuff. All right, so glad to have you with us. Really happy to have you with us. Really exciting to have you with us tonight. George and I today were hacking away for hours on end at some of the enhancements that we were trying to put into the Auto123, and we had a small breakthrough. Hopefully it's a big breakthrough. We hope that everyone will be really excited about. I'm certainly excited. I know George is as well. Peter, we all looked at it today, and it looks like it's working pretty good. So we'll further testing and so forth, but it's pretty exciting. Okay.
Lennox, you want to tell everyone we will be taking questions at the end?
Yes. You have access to your microphones, but we will have them muted until the end of the presentation. So if you have questions, comments, feedback of any kind, please don't hesitate to do that. You can also write in the chat if you want, and we'll try to field all the questions as we go along. Okay, so we'll give everybody a couple of minutes here just to settle in. I'll just put up our legal disclaimer stuff, blah, 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 legal stuff to make sure that everybody understands that we make no, we have no guarantees with anything. You know, this is all for your education. Okay, that's the basic gist of it. And we will get started with Mr. Bain. Peter Bain will give us an introduction into what we're presenting tonight. All right, so again, thank you for joining us, and hold on for a little bit here, and we'll get through this and show you how this all works. All right, so Peter, if you are ready, we can begin.
Hi, friends. Glad you're here. The S123 trading system was introduced by Lennox Chambers in 2017 to our members. Since that time, he and the team at Forex Mentor have trained thousands of traders on how to profit from this powerful strategy. This is in keeping with our approach over the years to continually refine the system to add new tools to this approach to make it even simpler to trade. And now we are at the point where the team have taken things to a whole new level, introducing a revolutionary new tool to automate the entire S123 trading process. In August, Auto123 became generally available, but today we will show you how we have made it even better. So fasten your seatbelts and listen up closely, for you are in for one heck of a ride when we show you the latest improvements and refinements.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
Okay, let me give you a little introduction to the system. First of all, I had an opportunity of listening to Lennox's simple 123 method in 2017, and it was so impressive of how he had developed a system that not only works in Forex, but virtually works on any equity, indices, commodities, stocks, and options. Now, I've worked with Forex mentor people for many years, so I contacted Peter to get an introduction to Lennox. And needless to say, we hit it off right away. We both liked the mathematics behind the system, and it was a good match right off the bat. And soon I developed a indicator tool that we could add on to the MetaTrader platform, and we replaced the manual wave calculator, which you see on the screen right now. Now with it on the platform, it was a lot easier to start teaching people how to use the tool and follow Lennox's videos and webinars. The next step, we actually started in 2018 to introduce an auto wave calculator, and this actually plotted on your chart all the important things like your entry point, and the biggest thing it does is give you your exit points. This is a big problem for a lot of people, is to know where to exit a trade. And so we could put that on the chart and gives you the logical targets to shoot for. Now, it became obvious that when we were doing all this, that what we should do is create alerts and email members when a trade was setting up. So in 2018, we started doing that. And what we did is that we allowed members to select the time zones that they wanted to see alerts on. And you could also select whether you wanted major pairs or minor pairs, and the time frames that you wanted. And now we could email members anytime the market was open. Now, it soon became obvious that we could develop an Auto123 system just based upon the logic that we've been doing in the manual system. And what we did was we created an alert system that would take all the emails, and what we did was we just extracted the from the alerts the major pairs, the 7 major pairs, and gold. And we created a spreadsheet. We started with $5,000, and we every trade that we emailed out, we put on a tenth of a lot for it. This was started in November of 2020, and at today we have it increased that amount to 147% of our initial $5,000. So we're up over $12,000 today. In January, one of our members who is proficient in spreadsheets designed a program that would automatically update the spreadsheet according to the principles that we laid down for it. And so it would automatically put the details that we sent in the emails and create a file that would put it onto the spreadsheet, and it would take the entry points and either move it to a target, which is always target number 2, which we'll get into, or take it to a stop, or some of them would go to no trade because it just meanders around and never hits our entry point. Or the market goes so fast that it goes beyond our entry point. And each week we update that, and members are able to see on a week-by-week basis what we have posted, and all the information is there for them to verify the statistics of it. And in April of 2021, we started beta testing our Auto123 system. Members welcome the opportunity to help us beta test the system on demo platforms. And we've been doing that since April. During that period, we've made many changes, and we began to show promising pairs and a couple of platforms that work quite well with this method. And by June, the system was really pretty much stabilized, but we continued working on it, and now we have a very stable system. And Lennox is going to go over the system with you now. So I would like to introduce you to my mentor, Lennox, to show you the details about this great system that we've been having so much fun developing. Lennox, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, George. Thank you, Peter. All right. Manually trading S123, manually trading period. We all know how the grind is when you're trading manually. So here you see it's telling you that I've been trading the S123, simple 123 system for over 25 years. Now, when I started, you know, it wasn't 123 to me. It wasn't simple 123 or anything like that. It was just a Elliott wave that I had studied, and the Elliott wave uses wave 1 and 2, and you're shooting for trades in the wave 3, and that's all I was doing at that time. And I was in the stock market, trading commodities, options, and you know, of course, started off. My first trade ever was really good. Started off with a bang, and I thought, okay, this is for me, and just never looked back. Of course, during the course of trading, you have ups and downs and so forth. I was working full time. I had 4 kids. I had an ex-wife, a new wife, 4 kids, and I just wanted to make extra money somehow. And I was working full time. Working with the government and so on. I was in the IT department as a programmer, development and so on. And I'd come in, you know, 7 o'clock in the mornings, and right away I'm trading from home first of all. And I come to work to catch up and see what I'm missing in the markets and so forth. And good thing I'm working with computers, because I'm right in front of a computer all the time, and I could follow along. But you know, in my first year just trading, I probably made about an extra $20,000, and it just kept on increasing over the years. You know, so it was nice. I wanted to make some extra dollars, and that was my goal, and I was doing it. And you know, my next goal was to trade full time, but that's taken a while. It took me to 2017 to be able to do that. So 4 years I've been in the Forex world, and I've always traded manually. I never used indicators. It was always just naked charts. And I really thought that was the only way. I didn't even know anything about robots or EAs or anything at that time when I started with Forex. So that's a snapshot of how I began in this world of trading. Here are some, these are real results from trading over the years, starting in the Forex. And this is like one of the trades, and what one of the members said about me showing my real account, because I'm always in my real account whenever I'm doing webinars and so forth. I have nothing to hide. There's, this is what it is. This is the world of trading. If I'm losing, I'm losing. If I'm winning, I'm winning, and I don't mind sharing either, because this is what happens. This is the reality of the game. So you can win sometimes and you can lose sometimes. My team members here have seen me lose big and they've seen me win big, and so on. So it's all a part of trading, and you just have to. It's like, you're a boxer, you're in the ring, you just roll with the punches. Otherwise, if you get hit and you go down, that's it. You're not going to get up, but you have to have that staying power. So this is one of the examples of manual trading. Here's of course some great videos we have on the website of some of my trades, and you can see the results of that. Here, for example, is a spreadsheet that shows my real account. Again, this is, you can see right up here in the corner, it's live. So it's my live account, and this is the history tab. And I'm showing all these trades. And I think at this point here, I was trading, I'm not sure if this was for my daughter. I was trading my daughter's money, and I think she gave me $2,500, and I made it to $10,000 in a week for her. And what I was trying to show here is that this is all totally possible. You can do this, but it's manually trading. So you can, I have here about 30 or 40 trades, and I only have one loss in here, I believe. And this is all totally doable. However, it is taxing. It's taxing in so many ways. It's it's just manually exhausting to do that. So this was what George was talking about earlier, the alerts. This is the manual alerts, the automatic alerts now. So like he was saying, we get the alerts that were sent out to the members, and I can show you an example of the alerts once we're done here. And so an alert would come in for Aussie US dollar, for example, and it goes automatically into the spreadsheet, and the trade is taken, and the results are tabulated. So if it's a win, it's a win. If it's a loss, it's a loss. If there's no trade, there's no trade. And these are the this is a scrolling sheet, so it goes back way back. In July, we had quite a rough time. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of losses in July. July especially, we had a lot of losses. But this happens. We also had, if I could scroll, and I can show that to you for real as well, that we had about 23 wins in a row at one point. So this is the nature of the game. July is one of those months where things go in a lull. This is the first time we've gone through July with this. So, and we've made this all back in the last few weeks. So those losses can be overcome real quickly. So this is with 0.1 lot. And we started off with 5,000. Our current balance sits at $12,344. So it's 147% return, averaging about, I guess, 13% a month, something like that. And each trade lasts about 11 hours. So this is only with 0.1 lot. So if you did this with one lot, and I used to trade all the time with 10 lots, never mind, but here's 0.1. If you did this with one lot, you'd be up $70,000. So this is the kind of power that this system has. All right, so this is just being very conservative. So the challenges of manually trading, again, it's just emotionally, physically draining. You got to be in front of the computer all the time. Of course, you're prone to making mistakes. Yes, you saw, I had a lot of trades that I won, but there are times you make mistakes, and it's just ridiculous. You can only manage one account really at a time. You know, it's very tough to be trading multiple accounts and so on. You miss a lot of opportunities. You know, it's just it's a lonely sport. You're just by yourself unless you have someone who's, you know, in the game with you. It's really, really tough. You know, it causes a divorce too. So yeah, you know, it's a very challenging sport, that's for sure, when you're doing it manually. All right. So over the years, I've just been looking at it. Okay, if I could just do this, you know, automatically, it'd be just fantastic. And that's where George came in and did the auto wave calc, and we could do it right on the chart. And that was really, really powerful. So what is this Auto123? It's an expert advisor. It's called an EA, an expert advisor. So it finds and executes trades for you in MT4. Now, George and I have been coding this, and George started off looking into this a couple of years previous, and we didn't do anything with it. And we started up with the idea, okay, let's see if we can create an EA based on what we've been teaching. And we had no idea how to even do that. So I didn't look into it at all. George was looking into it, and finally it was, okay, what's going on? Let's see if we can get this thing going. And George says, okay, we need some help. So we hired a programmer, supposed expert in programming EAs and so forth. And he came back to us with some code, and we tried it, and it didn't quite work. And it was very difficult to read his code and understand what he was doing. And then the back and forth with him, I think he's in Israel, if I'm not mistaken. And it was really tough. So we thought, okay, you know, this is ridiculous. But let's just scrap that and move on ourselves. So we kind of took the shell of what he gave us and try to manipulate it ourselves. And I decided to get involved to help George, and that's how we've basically got to this stage. So it's the number one thing is that we try to mimic what the alerts are doing. So we're getting the alerts, and we're then throwing that into an indicator, and we read from the indicator all the 1, 2, 3 points, and make the trades automatically in the EA. Sounds quite straightforward and everything, but it's quite the process. So it closes and opens and closes the trades for you automatically. It works on all the major brokers. Runs on your PC or virtual server. We have it running on a virtual server as well. You control which pairs you want to run, and it trades for you 24/5 without any intervention. Of course, you can mess with it if you want, but that's basically it. So the performance, it's built on the same engine that controls the S123 alerts, like I was just saying. And these are some of the results. This is from a demo account that we have running with all 30 pairs, and this has just been for the last 14 days. The last update we did was pretty stable. Auto123. We have a win-loss ratio of about 2.8 to 1, so very close to 3 to 1. This time frame is 1 hour, and we're just using a standard 0.1 lot. And this is the chart. Of course, we'd all like to see this chart a little smoother, but reality is what it is. So we're up about $716 in that time with 0.1 lot. So again, if you were trading one lot, you'd be up $7 grand right now. So that's pretty good. Okay, so that's just a quick snippet of that. And we have some of our members have shown some incredible results on their platforms. Some of them have not had good results, and this is the nature of the game because we have a number of settings, and I'll get into that. So people are going from setting to setting and so forth, and trying different things. So, and also trying many different pairs and things like that. We wanted to stabilize it and just to show we were going to actually show you a screenshot of the 30 pairs and how they all work, but it's just too much information and you just get overwhelmed. So let me continue here. So this is some of the things that our members are saying about the Auto123. We have yesterday we had quite the diatribe online. it was everybody. I think everybody and their dog got into it last night in the lounge. We have a Skype lounge that we have a couple of Skype lounges actually. And, the members all get involved in some nice little discussions and so forth, and it's quite interesting. Okay, so here's one that said I changed my settings to moderate. So we have a couple different settings, and you can switch back and forth and so forth. So we'll get into that a little bit. Okay, so for you considering the Auto123, you would want to get into using this if you feel you'd like to understand a little bit more about the strategy, our simple 123 strategy. If you don't have much time to watch the Forex market all day long, especially if you're working full time or you just can't sit at the computer and so forth to trade manually. If you want to trade in other time zones, if you have problems emotionally, it's a very emotionally taxing game to trade manually. So if you have those kind of problems, if you have some problems with patience and things like that, you want to trade multiple accounts, you lack discipline with money management. That's a big thing. Money management's key in this game. You can win 10 times in a row, but it just takes once to lose it all if you're not properly managing your money. If you're inconsistent, and you never mind just the S123 system. If you're inconsistent, period, and you want to be able to apply a strategy. Okay, so that's you can consider it in those cases. So the usage. You want to start off, we recommend, this is what we highly recommend. You start off with 0.1 lot at most. On a demo account, definitely. And on any MT4 broker you want. I use AXI myself personally. We test on IG and AXI and FX Open and FXCM. There's multiple platforms that we test on and so forth. We're not, recommending any of these, of course, but this is just what we use. Don't risk more than 1% of your account on any one trade. That's one of our rules. Again, it's just a recommendation. I think I just moved that screen, didn't I? Let's see if I can go back. Sorry. We would like you to, if you decide to try, trade for a minimum of at least 1 month to gauge the performance and make sure that it's working for you, and you make sure that you're happy with the results and so forth. I mean, some of our members here have been at this, with us since April, 6 months or so, and a lot of them have had mixed results, and some have had really good results and so on. So we're starting to get really at the stable point with the software, and we're starting to see some constant results now. So we'd like you to start with the recommended major pairs, which are all the US pairs, and start off with the default minimal risk settings, because you start jumping around to the higher risk levels and so forth, you're just going to lose your money. Even if it's demo, you're still going to lose, right? So it's best to start off small, some baby steps, and you can always trade different pairs and so forth, but it's just the tap. Okay, so that's some of the recommendations. What you can expect, again, it trades the market for you. It's tireless. It's trading around the clock, right? It enters pending orders, puts in the stop losses, and it takes you out of the trade that the targets. We have set targets. You can stop any trade. You can move stops. You can do whatever you want manually, but we don't recommend that you do that really. traders control, what you control what pairs you trade. And the strategy is consistent. So it's not like you're doing 10 different strategies. It's the same strategy over and over and over. So once you understand how it all works, and this is part of the tool, it's like a teaching tool because you get to see how the strategy really works. It's very, very powerful strategy. And once you understand how it works, it's amazing. And we will continue, to refine it. There always is going to be ongoing improvements and refinements, and we're not stopping. Like I said, today George and I were on for 5 hours hacking away, and we came to a breakthrough. We've been working on this for quite a while now, trying to figure out something, and I'll get into that once we get to the demonstration. Okay, what Auto123 is not, and you all can read, so if you're looking to get rich real quick, no, it doesn't work that way. Okay, it's not right all the time. Okay, that's there's nothing out there that's going to make it right. Give you right all the time. So, but what we do in the Auto123 is we minimize losses. That's the key to it, and the wins are big. So if we do lose, even if you lose 5-6 times in a row, like you saw in that sheet there, that's okay, because it just takes even one win, 2 wins, and you get it all back. So that's the key to the whole game. This is not for impatient traders. Okay, I mean, if you can't hang in there for a month or 2 or 3 to really try this out, then and it's not a holy grail. I think it's close, but I'm sure there are 100,000 other people out there saying that they have it as well. So I'm not going to say we have a holy grail. It's a very sound, solid, foundational system to trading, and we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't think it worked, right? So. All right, so looks like I'm on for a demonstration. So let me do that and show you a quick little on this. Okay, so again, I'm in my live account. I'm always in my live account. This is how it is. And I'll just do a quick, this is how the EA is set up. So that we I'm in my live account here with this, but it's an initial deposit of 10,000, and you got all these inputs that you can make. We automatically generate the magic number for each pair. Every pair has to have its own magic number, but it's automatically generated for you. You don't have to enter magic numbers unless you're using a pair that's not one of the normal regular used pairs. You can set your lot size, and like we default it to 0.1. You can change that to whatever you like. You can also go by account risk. We recommend 1%. We have I don't know if everybody can see that. This might be a little bit small, but hopefully you can see it okay. We have a risk level, 3 risk levels, and we have minimal, conservative, and moderate. And we recommend, of course, the minimalist mode. And what that does, the minimalist mode mimics the alerts. So the settings for that are default to false, false, and true. You can use a buy or sell stop, and that's set to false. You can use break even, and that's set to false. And you can set your stop loss at a set point, and that's set to true. So that's how the alert system works, and that's what's set for the Auto123. We have a maximum allowed spread in pips, and that's set to 10. So some pairs, for example, might be up 40 pips, and you have to change that to 40 or more pips to make that pair work. So we have a minimum. So that's all the inputs that you have. So it's pretty straightforward, and that's it for that. So how it works basically, I'm just in test mode here and so forth. But let me just shrink this down. So George and I are forever testing and trying out different things, and so you can't test this. You can't back test with the code, the EA. Unfortunately for you guys, you can only forward test. Okay, so and the reason why is that we're using an indicator and so forth, and it doesn't allow that when we give it out as an executable. So I can run. I'm running against gold. I'm running from January 1st to today with gold, and this is what comes out, and it's doing the trades in what that defines. I'm on in minimalist mode. The minimalist mode, which what it does. Let me just give you an example. Let me just bring these down, and you can see the screen a little better. So again, I was just testing. So this is an example of a trade here where we get our 1, 2, 3, and then it's looking to enter. It enters here on this trade, and then executes and goes to our target, which is kind of is hidden by this green bar. It's right here actually, but it's hidden. So and it goes to our target. So that's that trade right there. I think let's see how many pips that one got. For example, from here to there, that's 96 pips. So that's on the 1 hour time frame. So boom, and that's it. That's all. That's basically what it does. So if you decided that you wanted to put in, if you wanted to switch the EA to use a buy or sell stop, then it would have triggered a buy stop above the number 2 point here, and that would have taken you to another target. Okay, so they would have made more profit on that trade. Okay, your stop is below here. Here's your stop right there, and so if we had lost, then your loss would have been, let's see how many pips from entry. Your loss from here would be approximately 35 pips, 36 pips. So 36 pip loss, but instead you made a 96 pip win on that trade. So pretty nice. Okay, so like I say, we minimize the loss and maximize the win, and that's the whole key to the game. So like I say, this is nice to see that, but there are times when you will lose. So if I'm sure there'll be one or two in here that you will lose on. So that's just how it is. But you make sure again that you minimize the loss, and so it gives you profits. And in this case, we're about 2 to 1 on gold with a percentage here. Okay, so that's a look at the Auto123 in action. All right, let me come back to this guy. Let me clear all that and go to the next. Okay, so what's included with the Auto123? All the EA and indicator files. And it's all valid with your membership. You can run Auto123 as long as you remain an active member, and you have your own unique login ID. So you can't really, give this away or anything like that. I mean, I did move forward. There are detailed installation videos and documentation on our website to help you. So I think there are 2 or 3 videos, and they're very short, about 5 to 7 minutes, and just gives you a step-by-step of how to set everything up if you've never done that before and so forth. You got to recommend a list of currency pairs to trade, again, the majors. And we have weekly training webinars and Skype and email support at all times. So you're never out in the cold. We're always here to help you. And we're here to win, and we want to see you win. And it's all, for the benefit of each other. We're not just doing this, in a selfish way and so forth. So we're always here to help you. So these are the settings. I went over that with you. And that's that. Okay. And so I did all that, showed you all that. So what some of the latest enhancements, we put in automatic opposite buy and sell entries. So basically 1, 2, 3, let me just quickly show you 1, 2, 3. So we have our 1, our 2, our 3, and we're say our entries here, you can put a buy, sell, stop to go. So if we're going, and that's great, we're going to go to our targets. So that's wonderful. We get up to our targets and we can get out, and we have our stop. So if for example, price decided, oops, not going up there, guys, sorry, too bad, too late, it's going back the other way. So we get stopped out. That's okay, we get stopped out, but we have an opposite sell. So it would automatically trigger a sell, and you'd make profits as it goes down. Unless, of course, we get caught in some kind of sideways thing, which we are now figuring out how to deal with that, and that's what we were excited about today. Okay, so that was what George and I were looking at today, and we got super excited because I think we found a solution to that little problem. So we automatically generate magic numbers. We automatically generate targets and the stop losses. And we also stop trading during periods where we have excessive spreads. So the 5 p.m. Eastern time switch over from the sessions and the close of the New York session and so forth, we halt trading for about an hour, so that, because as you know, GBP New Zealand, for example, will be at 4 pips, and then all of a sudden you'll be at 40 pips, 50 pips spread, and that's not very good for your account if you're trying to trade at that. We automatically do first in, first out entries and exits, and you can control your buy, sell, stop entries. You decide if you want to put those on or not, right? Okay, and how do you get it? Forexmentor.com 123 join. Okay, so that's the website, forexmentor.com /123 / join PHP. You can become a member and get access to Auto123. And there's no charge for Auto123 currently. There's no extra charge besides your joining up with us. And you have a month, you can do a monthly plan or a 6-month plan. And you can see it's $129 the first month, $99 every month after that, and you can cancel anytime. Of course, like we said, we would like you to see you hang in there, and learn the system and test it out and make sure that it's something that you want to do going forward. Okay, so that's the basics of it. And if you have any questions, comments, feedback of any kind, we will now open up for that. Do we have any questions in the question boxes or anything?
I haven't seen any.
George? No, nobody's got any questions?
No. How many people have worked with automated systems? Put a Y in the chat box if you have.
Have you seen the questions there, George?
I've been looking at the chats.
Well, in the questions box.
Let me look at the question box. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. There are some questions there. Yes.
Michael Daniels and so on.
Okay. Yes, Michael, you've worked with several expert advisors. Have they worked out for you?
So one of the key things that for us with the Auto123 is we've built this on the foundation of a system that has been around for a long time. I learned this system from a gentleman back in who was trading the commodities market back in the 80s. His name was Ken Roberts. He's still around. He's very old now, but he used that entry to make fortune in the commodities market. And when I saw the technique, I just thought, okay, I've got to learn this. And he didn't get into Elliott wave and so forth, but I saw the potential of it based off the Elliott wave. And so I created the manual wave calculator, but way back in 1996, programmed that, and I was telling everybody that, oh, I can tell what a chart will do. You know, I can tell you what the Dow will do. I can tell you what gold was in 2000 and about 2000. Gold was sitting around $300 an ounce, and I was telling all my workers, that my fellow workers, that workmates, as you call them, that gold was going to go up to past $1,000, and they all thought I was nuts because gold has been doing nothing and it's at $300. But it had made a 123 bottom, and so I could see that it was ready to break out and go, and it's sitting at around 300. And I said, you know, it's going to be over $1,000, guys. You should buy gold. And they all thought I was a lunatic. So, but it did do that. It broke out, and you know, now you know gold is way up there. But that was back in 2000 when that happened. So that's amazing. I would tell them every day, you know, here's IBM. Look what IBM's going to be doing. Here's the Dow is going to tank or whatever, and so forth. But it's hard to convince people, you know. So I just, like I said, this is a lonely game. So I just stayed at it by myself and learned it.
Lennox, there's some questions if you'd like me to go over them.
Sure.
The alert spreadsheet is on a demo account, correct? Please confirm that the strategy tester shown is not available to run you on optimization as with other EAs. No, you can't. You can test out various pairs, but you can't do any back testing on the EA. There's a number of questions on how many pairs or equities can you work with. It's really pretty much dependent upon your account size, and since in Forex you can go down as low as 0.01 lots, so with your micro accounts, etc., so you can really load up with a lot of different pairs, stocks, indices, commodities, but
EFTs.
it becomes very, very difficult to keep track of all of them. And so we suggest sticking to like the major pairs. And I normally have about a dozen platforms working, and it's a chore keeping up to date on all of that's going on and running the statistics on a dozen platforms. So we suggest keeping it down to a small number of pairs. If you have a favorite, fine. And then every once in a while, branch out to maybe an index or something like that you enjoy. We have a number of people that trade oil on a regular basis, and that's worked out fine for them.
Yeah, we found that oil, the indices, S&P and Dow Jones 30, things like that, the DAX, gold, they work quite well. they're very volatile. So you're going to get movements, and you can trade on the hourly, the 4 hour. So it's lots of opportunities. Now the 4 hour time frame, I prefer the 4 hour myself. It affords you more time to analyze. Even if you're using the EA, it affords you more time to look at the trade and say, okay, maybe I can skip this one. And what I try to do each day, as the alerts come in for the members, if I see a 4 hour setup, I would give my take on what I think is going to be occurring. For example, let me just go to, I'd have to escape from here. Don't want to escape from here. How did I do that before? Did that. So
Yeah.
Come back. Okay, so see if I can do this. Don't want to lose that screen. So let me see if I can do this on the other screen here, and I'll show you.
George, are you going to run through the questions top to bottom? Or
Yeah, there's a number of questions that I want to get through.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there's questions. Can you please show us a U.S. traded Forex? I happen to be in the U.S., and so I do trade Forex in the U.S. And the EA does have FIFO logic in it, and we have actually found that FIFO is a very good way of trading. Lennox talked about setting up a trade that goes in the opposite direction, and a lot of us call that hedging. And if you're in the US, you know that hedging isn't available. However, this is not hedging, because the trades that you thought were going to go in one direction, when they get closed out, if you have the so-called kind of hedging option available, it won't be executed until the other trades are closed. And
Yes.
it will automatically go in and start trading.
Okay, so let me
The
show.
indicators actually will go on. You don't have to change them every month unless we have come out with an improvement to the EA, then we alert you about it. But generally that's on the weekend when the market is closed. Now, a number of people have asked about multiple pairs. For example, the one chart that Lennox showed you, I was running 30 different pairs on a 1 hour, each on 1 hour basis. And so you can load up as many pairs as you want, really. And it's just a matter of management. I put on 30 pairs so that I can attempt to determine which pairs are going to be better pairs to select, and watch their potential week over week's time frame. And we make this information available to our members, which is helpful to them. But I also tell you that our members use other pairs that we don't normally use, and so there's a great deal of exchange of information. One person suggested that they had seen the last presentation and sent in several emails, but have not gotten any answers to it. Just, I'm sorry for that. If we get any emails, that they're redirected to either Lennox or myself, and we try to get them all answered. So
we have quite a few questions to get through here, George.
okay.
Next one is why are the indicators required to be reloaded every month? This is Michael Daniels.
The indicators are not required to be loaded each month. For example, the one we have on now that was put on in August is good to the end of the year.
I think they're talking about the manual system, the manual.
Oh, if the manual system? Oh, well,
Yep.
that's because people are paying on a monthly basis, and you know, we're not having the indicators available if you come on one month and then leave us. That your indicators stop working at that point.
Ben DeJong wants to know if we have instructions on setting up a VPS.
We do not, but you know, you can go through your broker, and I'm sure they have instructions and so forth. And if you have problems, and you know, we can always assist you.
Yeah, we can assist you on some, but
I mean,
there's
each
many
VPS is going to be
kinds of
different.
VPS systems out there.
Yeah, there's so many, and they're going to be all different. So you best for you to just try to work with it yourself. And if you can't figure it out, you know, we can always try to help you if well possible.
Next question, Steve O'Neill. It's hard to scroll down here.
Okay, does it give it, one question is, does it give it an alert when it goes into a trade? No, it doesn't give an audible alert at this point in time.
You would just see, I mean, if you were sleeping, it wouldn't matter. But if you're awake and you know, it would be triggered on the hour if you're on the hourly. On the hour if you're on the 4 hour, every 4 hours, right? On the 4 hour, it would trigger. So it's always on the hour that it would trigger. It's not going to trigger 15 minutes after the hour and so forth.
Right.
So
Steve O'Neill is asking about trailing stops.
you can set to move stops to break even. That's the only stops we move. And our system in reality, our 123 system, how it works is a stop is here, and we do not move our stops. So we only put the break even movement on for those traders, members who requested that option. So what we do is once we've broken above point number 2 in your trade, and we get into a nice area, in a safe area, because more often than not, price will come back down and take out stops. So if you move your stop up, and we have a move to break even as our entries in this area, you know, we hopefully miss out on getting killed, and we'll continue on. But if you move your stop up too far, into this area, you'll more than likely get stopped out. So it's not really a good idea to move your stop, but we'll give you the option to do that. So you can play with that and see how it works, and so on as you go.
Okay, there's questions on in Australia, your leverage is 30 to 1. In the United States, it's 50 to 1. So
Yeah, that's how it is.
I actually
on my Axie, it's 200 to 1. I have I have other accounts that have 400 to 1. You can even go up to 800 to 1. But
yeah, it depends on how fast you want to lose your money or gain your money.
Yeah, keep it low, because low is best.
Saeed has 6 questions in here. How do you want to handle those, George?
Okay, well, one of the questions is how large of an account do you have to have? And on these small accounts, you can be as low as $100 in your account, and you're trading.
Well, again, we recommend that you demo this before you even think about putting in real money anyway.
Do you want to go through Saeed's questions one by one, George, or how do you want to handle it?
Sure.
Well, I'm trying to go down the list as I'm seeing the questions come up.
Do you see the box for Saeed? There's 6 questions in there.
Oh.
Do you not see that?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. Well, that was one that I had started on, but let me see. For live accounts, how many pairs and time frames is the EA running on? Well, you can actually run it on any time frame. As Lennox explained in his development, it works literally on any time frame. The lower you go on time frames, the more noise you get, and the more you have to keep staring at your charts. Why
we recommend, of course, the hourly or the 4 hour, and that's it. We don't think it's good to go below that or above that.
For any of the longest running time accounts, do you have any report that you can share showing the period EA that has been running and performance on a currency pair and time frame? We don't have any very long reports that we're doing, and part of the reason is we've been in a beta development and the product has changed quite a bit over the time. But now that we have a stable system, we are planning on getting having our live accounts be stabilized with a number of pairs, and then we would be able to show that to you.
The one we showed you today was for the most stable one that we've had so far for it's been 3 weeks now. So that one's is really good. We're very happy with the performance. And another one that we were going to show you as well, but again, it was too much information, but that's really going well.
Okay, another question in here. What is expected of the trader using the expert advisor in terms of deciding best ways to use it for a given time frame? How does it work on trending versus range bound and counter trend price movement? We've actually spent a considerable amount of time on the trying to just minimize the time spent in consolidating marketplaces. It works very well on markets that are trending, of course, either up or down. And let me see. And the trader, each trader has their own things that they like to do. So that's a tough question to really answer. I mean, I know traders that only want to trade one pair, and they've been doing that for a couple of years, and that's their thing, and that's fine. They're making a living doing it, so what works for them is fine. Others like to dabble around. So that's a tough question to answer. But the other thing about this is that in our program, you're actually learning how to trade the system that Lennox is talking about. And the EA is used as a tool to show you how to trade it, and you can follow it and learn the method. And once you learn the method, you can apply it to any equity and market. It's really great that way. And I found personally that the EA was a great learning tool, and a lot of our members have agreed with that concept.
We have a lot of questions remaining, including chat questions. So we got a motor here.
Okay.
Okay. Are you reading any of the chat questions, Lennox? Or
No, I'm not. I thought you guys were handling that. Okay.
We've gone over Australia's leverage. How much capital? We've gone over that question.
What were you going to say, Peter?
Well, I'm getting lost here. I just want to finish up with Saeed, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Well, we're still on Saeed.
I'm struggling with the fact that this is a rented EA. We are a supported beta test group, but we cannot back test. We are almost limited to a demo account and few if we reported any results. We have people reporting results all the time.
Everybody reports their results at the end of the week.
Back testing too, because if you don't have an account that has good data in it, back testing can give you
It's
all kinds
useless.
of crazy results.
Back testing it doesn't mean anything. It's the forward testing that's the key. That's why we're in beta test mode for everyone so that they can test it out and give us feedback, and then we can use that feedback to make the EA better and better and better. And that's what the whole point of the exercise is, to get all out of whack about back testing. Back testing is overrated. So it's you're just showing data that's just static and it doesn't mean anything. Just because I showed you gold with a nice chart doesn't mean anything, because when you're trading gold for real, you'll see that it's an erratic, unpredictable, volatile instrument. And if you don't have a sound system, you're toast. So the 123 is a sound, solid system, and it will catch these trades for you and make you money going forward. So back testing is way overblown. And I can give you an EA that you can backtest that mimics the Auto123 and so forth, but it doesn't mean anything.
Are we done with Saeed, George?
I think I covered all the aspects of that one. Yes.
Saeed, if we missed anything, repost, because we've got so many to deal with here. And the same thing with Michael Daniels. If we missed anything, please let us know. Let's just carry on here. And the next one in the question box, and then we'll get to the chat box, is Elaine Pistaresi.
Yes.
Does it give an alert? Doesn't it give an alert when it goes into a trade? Maybe we. No. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that answers that question. Brian Curry, is this okay for someone with no trading experience?
We've got members who have not had any experience whatsoever, but it's tough. If you have never looked at MT4 or traded before and so forth, it's a tough thing. But you have to start somewhere. So why not? Right? I started with no experience whatsoever, so I know how it is.
The one good recommendation is patience. If you have good patience, you can be a trader. If you don't have any patience, I suggest you find another game.
Elaine Pistaresi has, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, says here, I've used many custom indicators, none work constantly.
Well, again, our system is based on a solid foundation, so we hope and that it will be consistent based on, you saw the results that we showed you in the alerts. So we're hoping that this will continue that way as well. Again, we can't guarantee anything, because we're going forward in time, and it's a live animal. It's a moving target we're going against. But based on what we're seeing so far, testing forward for real, and in demo, it looks pretty good.
Okay, why don't we switch over to chat? We got a whole bunch of questions in both questions and chat. Why don't we switch over to chat and take
Everyone has access to their microphone, so they can if somebody wants to say
we
something.
got a pile of questions to go through, so we got a boogie here.
About somebody who said that they sent emails in. I mean, if we look at every email, so I'm not sure why you did not get your emails answered. So please, if you please try again. Maybe you have the email address incorrect or something. It's possible, but we spell the name wrong from time to time, so that can happen, right? forexmentor.com. So
Kenley Lamotte, I created a 123 EA a while back and still trade with it. It's very selective and doesn't enter trades very often. How often does this EA enter trades on each pair, daily, weekly?
Every hour on the hour. If there is an opportunity, it will enter a trade. So on the hourly time frame, every 4 hours on the 4-hour time frame, if there's a trade, it will enter a trade.
Next question from him. What is the expected drawdown?
We can't answer that because we're going forward in time.
Okay, next question from him is, do you test with Owanda?
Yes, if you're in the United States, Owanda is has so many different rules than other U.S. brokers. I've had an Oanda account, and I've actually switched over to IG. It was so much easier. But
Christian Mani, are we only asking questions on the Auto123, or can we ask questions on the S123 generally?
You can ask any question you want.
Okay. Michael Daniels, where are you at with the H4 auto intelligence work?
That's what we were talking about just today. That's what we were excited about, because we're very, the H4 or the wave 4 he means, I think. We're trying to eliminate those sideways movement areas. So essentially what that question is talking about, and what we've been trying to work on, and you notice I'm always doing a 1, 2, 3 bottom, but of course it's the same thing going the opposite way. So when how the 1, 2, 3 works is basically to get you to targets here. So if we can get to that target, fantastic. But once you get to this target and you get out, price tends to go sideways here before it'll do another leg. So we want to try to eliminate this area, but the EA is just a robot, so it's looking for 1, 2, 3s, and it'll find a 1, 2, 3 here or here and so on. So what we're trying to do is to eliminate when it's in here, because on the 1 hour time frame especially, this is not good. On the 4 hour time frame, these can be much larger, so it's possible to catch a 1, 2, 3 and make some pips. But again, what we're trying to do is eliminate. So today we had a breakthrough, and I think we're going to be working on that diligently over the next while here, and see if we can have an update for everyone that will eliminate this area here. Okay, so
sorry.
We got a ton of questions.
Michael, can you show the individual trades or pairs in a live account? Lennox has been showing live accounts for years now, and there's a lot of them posted in videos, and there's a lot of trades in there that is shown. Let me see. So if you haven't seen any live results, you haven't gone through all the areas that we have because there's a huge number of them. You said back testing isn't available. Back testing is terrible. I mean, we only can take a guess that a change that we're making is good in back testing, and it's only when we put it into a real account that we can be sure of the results. And there's plenty of reasons for that. In back testing, it does not pay any strict attention to latency. It doesn't pay any real attention to spreads. And brokers have a lot of options available that they just totally turn off in back testing to make you think that you've developed the greatest thing since sliced cheese. And when you put it in the real world, it falls apart and crumbles. So back testing is really way overrated.
It's the forward testing that's the key here. So we need to. That's why we need to have you beta test and try it out. And what we're finding now is that the indices, we didn't back test any of the indices when we were testing. We tested only the majors. So we thought that this should work no problem on all the majors and so forth. But we find that Aussie USD might work way better than Euro USD and so forth and so on. So, but that's just back testing. Going forward, it could be the opposite. We don't know. So that's why we need, going forward testing.
A question from Christian Moni, I think you pronounce his last name. Please, can you explain the concept of support and resistance level using the zone? What criteria and how do you define a support and resistance zone?
Wow, that would take a while, but essentially, let me just use U.S. dollar index as an example. Here's the chart. Oh, here's in my live account. Here's a trade going right now, or it's setting up for one. But yeah, I have in this account or on this chart, I have zones here that we have an indicator that shows you where the zones are. So in blue is support, and the pink area is resistance. So on each time frame, you have the different zones. So you can see at a glance where if you've been in a support area or you're coming to a resistance area and so forth. So it's all there. You can download these indicators from our site and from your members area and use them and so on. So I go into in detail with this in the webinars and so forth, for anyone who wants to get in depth with it, but it's too much to go into right now on how that all works. Okay.
Boy, I'm losing track of where we're at here with the questions. There was one here. I don't know if we answered it about
Next one then.
let me just see if I can. Are you any further along than I am, George? There's so many questions I'm having trouble figuring out.
Okay, I have one question I can quickly answer. Does the EA show red news releases?
Oh yeah.
We have that on our docket to put into the system. It's not on the current system, but it's a high priority for us. It's a very good question, Graham.
Michael Daniels has a lot of questions in the questions box, and I'm trying to sort and sift here. Graham Sturrock has a ton of questions in here. George, do you see them? I
was down to the bottom and I answered his last.
Scroll up about a quarter of an inch from the bottom, and you'll see Graham Sturrock's.
I don't have all his questions for some reason. I answered the very bottom one about the EA and red zones. That's the only one.
Talking about maybe you answered this. It starts off by saying maximum leverage in Australia is 30-1 for majors and 20-1 for other pairs.
Oh, I see. You're on the actual question. I think I went over all that.
Okay, sorry. You're ahead of me. Michael Daniels has a lot of stuff in here. Michael Daniels, maybe you can make it easy on us, and if there's something we missed, can you just post it again quickly? You can probably post it faster than I can figure out where we're at with your questions.
Yeah, because he has them in chats and in the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to send him to the Skype room.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Michael. That makes it easier for us.
Oh, here's somebody was asking about what's going on with the live trades and so forth. So here I have an account. I started off this account with a couple of grand, and I'm up right now to about 4. But I've been, to tell you the truth, in this account, I've been manipulating the EA as well. So it's not, because I've been testing for months, and so I get into the trades, and if I'm going the wrong way, I'm not gonna, it's my live account. I'm not gonna just let it lose my money. So I would rather get out of a trade and so forth. But this is a EA live right now, and it's got a trade on a pending trade on US dollar, which is right there. So you can see I don't have the EA on here because it's sitting on a server, but I'm looking at it in my live account anyways. So I have US dollar index. I'm just running it at 0.1 lot because I'm in test mode. I just want to test it. GBP US dollar and Euro USD all have trades pending right now. And it over here in the comment section, let me just show over here in the comment section, it shows you it's a sell limit at 55, because I'm just using the minimalist mode. I'm a buy limit of 55%, buy limit of 55%. So it's basically like this is a US dollar index sell. So it's picking up a 1, 2, 3 like this. I'm not sure where it got in. Yeah, it looks like somewhere around here. Anyways, so it's picking up a 1, 2, 3, and it's putting in the stop loss and it's putting in the sell limit, and that's it. And we're in the trade if it gets in, right? And that's that. And then last night, I can just show you quickly. Last night, this is what it did. Where am I? Account history. So I had these are some of the trades using 0.1 lot, and I think I did one lot trade because I wanted to make some money. So I just did a 1 lot trade. I think it was in gold, but so these are some of the trades, and it's just, you know, $11 win, $29 loss, $20 loss, $37 win. And the thing is, you know, you want to make the wins bigger and so forth. And I got that. I think I threw in one lotter. There it is. Oh, I did 2 lots, a sell, and then it made a quick $312 because I just wanted to make some money. So I just did that manually, and there's another win, and so on. So that it's, you know, these are real, and there's nothing, you know, nothing to hide, but these are just testing, you know, in my account. So I can, you know, I can make money quickly, or I can, you know, let the EA do it itself and so forth. That's if I'm awake, and like I say, if right now I see US dollar, the US dollar is heading to the upside, and so I have a sell going. So I don't want to be in a sell if price is going to be going this way. So I would take this trade off before it even executes, right? So by understanding where you are on the structure of the chart, which is all what I teach, and where the 1, 2, 3 is, where your support and resistance are, and so forth, you can make those decisions yourself and say, okay, wait a minute, I don't want to be in this trade. Let me get out. Okay, so if you're not awake, then the EA will just take you out automatically, and you'll have a small loss in this case if you were in it, right? And that's okay. It's okay to lose as long as you make sure that your losses are small and your wins are bigger, and that's what we try to do. All right, so that's the real account, the real stuff.
If there are any questions you have that we haven't answered, please let us know. We've tried to keep up to the questions and may have overlooked a few. We're not doing that intentionally, so just let us know if there's something you want us to answer, and we'll jump on it.
You've gone through them all then?
Well, the hard part for me is Michael Daniel's questions. There are just so many in here that I think I've lost track of which ones we did not. He's offered to send them to the Skype room.
Well, yeah, Michael's with us, so you know he can always ask the questions in the Skype room.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I'm not being negative, Michael. I'm just hoping we answer all your questions, but there've been so many questions coming in. I think I lost track of which ones we answered and which ones we didn't.
Hello, Lennox.
Yes.
This is Christian.
Hi, Christian. How are you?
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, actually, at least I'm still doing my work, and I think so far so good. The system works very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you said 1 or 2 things that I think patience is a key thing, and timing to follow you. Like I did mention some time ago, it takes 4 years to get a degree. So to get into trading too, you need to spend time. So,
well, not many people have that kind of patience, Christian. So you know, everybody wants, you know, money now, and I understand that. You know.
Well, again for me, after having spent about 14 years in this business and having lost so much, I think it's time for me to spend that patient and stay. If I have to stay 1 or 2 or 3 years with you, I don't mind as long as I get what I want. So I want to still ask my question, but maybe I will keep that question to next week. This concept of support and resistance zone, because I noticed that in studying this thing very well, after what you taught last time, when you took time to show us the top-down analysis, and I've tried to follow what you taught last time, but I see that that zone is the key to this your system too.
Yes.
So because it's the key to it, I looked at it that it's something I would like you to really teach us. Maybe not today, because today is more or less for us to get to know more about the Auto123. So,
oh, definitely. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of learning about the system and so forth. You know, and when I'm teaching, you can ask any question at any time and so on. So definitely, show you what it's all about for sure.
Yeah, because what I noticed is, I use my MetaTrader 4. So even if I have to, I don't see anywhere to download the zone like you said from the website. But I still want to like have an idea what constitutes. I mean, how do you? What are the things that like a guide that telling me, okay, look at this, look at this. There's something I'm reading online. There's something I looked at online briefly, but I don't just want to take that. At least I have a mentor, so I'd rather hear what my mentor says than just read something online and take them. So I appreciate if you can, not today, because I know we won't be able to do that. Maybe next week, if you can just spend some minutes to just talk about that zone and tell us what to look for, what's the criteria that
no problem.
No
problem. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Christian.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? You notice that we don't have any the first 10 people that join, get blah 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 blah. It's just it's up to you. There's no we don't have any fanfare here. This is
okay. One more question, because I know we'll soon be asked. So now, when I look at the alert, right? The alert, we always have the 38%, 55%, and 79%. So what really does the 38% do? Because I know that even from the Auto123, if you're using the moderate, the conservative or whatever, the trade will always take it at 55. So what is 38 doing for us?
What is what doing for you? The 38%?
Yeah, we have 38%, 55%, and 79.
In the EA that we don't really use the 38%, but in manual trading that comes in very handy, 38% level, because especially when you're in a fourth wave, you can know how much. If I'm looking at a 1, 2, 3 like this, when we get up to the fourth wave here, we can know how much this will come back down based on using the fibs. Okay, it's a probability. Remember, this is a probability game. It's all about probabilities. What is the probability of price moving to this level? What's the probability of price moving down to this level? And so what's the probability of price going sideways? What's the probability of price moving up? It's all probabilities. So it's all math. And that's why the EA is effective if you have a good system. So 38% is very, very powerful. I'm going to delete this. See, I'm going to delete this order because it's a sell, and I'm going up. Everybody can see that the chart is going to the upside. So why do I want to be selling at this point, right? And I would delete this order. I'm going to delete now because I don't want to go away from the screen and then find out that it's taking me in. So Yeah, so that when you know where you are on the chart and you understand that you're at a certain level, you can use the fib tools or the wave calc to show you what the probability of a retracement will be: 38%, 50%, and so on. 50, 55, 62, 79. That's what it's all about. So I can get into that in the webinars, and I again explain further. Okay.
It's all right. No problem.
All right. Thanks again.
A comment here from Kenley Lamont. Nice work with the EA.
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, gents.
And like I say, there's no fanfare here. This is this is built on a system that works. A lot of the EAs out there are built, trying this, trying that, trying this, but we're working on a system that actually works and has shown proof of working. So this is what makes it. That's why we're all on this, because we know that it works. So if we can program it and follow those rules, because it has rules, then we have a winner, and you'll win, and we will win, and we all win, and that's what it's all about.
I see that Stacy is with us, and Stacy, of course, you probably heard the good news from Lennox that he and George worked for upwards of 4 hours today on the wave 4 problem, and it looks like they've come up with a solution that's viable. So that's pretty exciting.
Well, that's just today.
That's today. That's
it was
just
4 hours 53. 4 hours 53 minutes, and somehow we were on for this afternoon. It's like, oh my word! But we're diehards, so and for anyone who understands programming or has any idea about programming, this world of program is intense, and we get into this kind of stuff in here, and it's a lot of stuff going on. So we yeah, it's crazy. So that's what we get into, and trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, when you get into the programming, you quickly learn the problems of that back-testing mode, and it's only when you go forward testing that you begin to get real situations that you can bank on. And I mean, forward testing and live testing has a lot to do even with the equipment you're using. If you have a very slow processor, you're going to be behind the 8 ball, because you just get relatively faster moving currencies like, the euro. First of all, the Forex trades easily $3 trillion a day and more.
More than that.
You have a lot of activity going on. And if you have a slow processor and you're on a system that has a very high latency to it, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, you might be 5 or 6 pips out of where a person that's on a very fast system with good internet connections is going to get into a trade with only a pip difference. You might be 4 or 5 pips difference on a slow system. And boy, that really does a disaster to your account when you're like that. So it's.
So we run on the VPS, and for myself here, I have a live account on the VPS. I also have a live account on my a dedicated machine. All it has on it is the MT4 and Windows. That's it. There's nothing else on it. So there's no Word and all that kind of stuff bogging it down. It's just MT4, and it just runs 24 hours, 24/5, and that's it. And it's hopefully fast enough to, but the VPS is the best, of course, because it's dedicated completely. But, yes.
This is Christian again.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you've in the past. I think I've actually asked this question, and you gave a recommendation. You kind of said that for somebody to start out with the majors, but honestly, I just want you to give maybe your opinion or recommendation again. For somebody who really want to learn this system, don't you think that major the 7K will be too much for this individual? Because
No, I wouldn't say that though. I think the majors is a good starting point, because they're the ones that are most widely traded. So they're the ones that are going to move the most. If you start going to Euro, CAD, and those kind of things, you're not going to get as much movement as you would with the major pairs. So the major pairs are, that's why we recommend you trade with the major.
What I'm saying is, don't you think that, like now, let me use myself as like I'm trying to learn under you, which is what I'm doing now. And I'm trading and I'm following 7 pairs every day. Don't you think for me as a learner, wouldn't 7 pair be too much for me to really
I see what you mean. That way. Yes, in that way, yes, because other traders who have come aboard have found that, because quantity, it's not quantity, it's quality. So yeah, trading too many pairs is not a good thing for your account, first of all, because every pair is different and you're going to lose some in one and win and so on. It's not a good way to do it. It's best to just choose 1 or 2 at most, to trade. So we would recommend, I would recommend gold, DAX, one of the indices, over the majors for sure, like Euro USD maybe, and US dollar, that kind of thing. But you don't want to trade too many pairs, because too many is not good. So if you're starting, trade 1 or 2. I mean, yes, you can have a demo account that you're testing a whole bunch of them, but if if you decide to go for real, you don't want to be doing 10 pairs. It's not good.
I've always been trading. I'm not the type that believe in demo trading.
If you're demoing, it's fine.
I use a live, even though that I'm still learning under you, I'm using a live account.
If you're doing live, you don't want to do 7, 8, 10 pairs. That's not good. Demoing, yeah, you can do as many pairs as you want, because you kind of want to see what they're going to do, But when you're going live, no, I wouldn't do that.
So out of the 7 major, like which 2 pair will you pick for me then?
Out of the majors?
Yeah.
Like I said, I like gold. It's a US dollar versus gold, right? XAU versus US dollar. I like the US dollar index. I like, if I had to pick one of the other ones, it would be Euro USD, because Euro USD and gold and US dollar index go opposite to each other. So there's our 1, 2, 3. So they're going opposite to each other. So I like those 2, because, if we're right in one, we'll be, we're going to be okay, and so on, right? So I like those ones. But like I said, the DAX is good, and the indices, Dow Jones. I up here on my list, I think I have NASDAQ, S&P. Oil is good. Dow Jones, those are really good. So.
But I'm only trying to focus on the Forex only.
Sorry?
I'm trying to focus on the Forex only.
Well, these are all Forex.
Oh, okay.
This is all in the Forex.
Oh.
Yeah, these are all Forex pairs. You can trade stocks in the Forex as well. So I can trade all the stocks, Apple and Google and Tesla. It's all in the Forex, but you can trade them in same way. It's just a chart. Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I have an EA, another EA that I've been working on. I didn't, I think I've told you guys in the lounge or in the webinars. I've been working on a multi EA and so forth, and I've tested that one. That one, if whenever I get done with the Auto123, because we've always I want to be able to share that one with you. That one you can back test to your heart's content. But again, it's always forward testing. That's going to be the key. But it's, I find the different pairs that works really well with that in back testing anyways, gold and the BAT, which is the Indian exchange, the Nikkei and light crude and Dow Jones and, US 2000, US 5, those are the kind of instruments that work really well with it. And I've tested every single instrument, coffee and cocoa and all this stuff in here that you can trade. I've tested everything, and I picked out the ones that work the best. So when I release that one to you guys, and that will be, like, hey, here you go, here's an EA that you guys can play with and try out. And it does quite well in back testing, but again, hasn't been tested going forward. So I can't say yes, it's going to do great going forward, but so back testing, like I say, is wonderful. Yeah, it's nice, to be able to see what it's doing back testing, but going forward is the key. Just like when you're demoing is great. You can do whatever you want in demo, but when you go live, it's a whole totally different ball game.
Lennox, can I just make a comment?
Yes, sir. Who
It's
is this,
Greg.
please? Oh, hi, Greg. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good.
Just for those checking it out, I've been with the 123 system since it started, and definitely what we've found in the testing is that the EA is coming along really well, and I've cut down to just 4 pairs that I trade with the EA, and basically what Lennox was just talking about is gold, oil, the DAX, and the S&P, and it's working really, really well. And I think since we've been testing the EA live, and since it was started back quite a few months ago, that everything that Lennox and George has done with the EA has just improved it dramatically, and it's starting to work really, really well. And like Lennox said, I had quite a few pairs on my platform, but I've now cut down to just 4, and that's trading live, and it's going really, really well.
Well, you showed the members some fantastic results in the demo, and that's just amazing, the results that you were getting. So
yeah,
we know that it works, and it's just a matter of people understanding that it actually does work, and you just have to try it out and see for yourself. But
yeah,
it's the same thing with learning the manual system as well. It's the same way. You won't know if it's going to work unless you try it.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm certainly happy with the way it's running for me at the moment. So with a few little tweaks from you guys, I think it's going to be awesome.
Thank you, Greg.
Greg, I think you're going to be pretty excited about what Lennox and George did today after 4 hours of grunt work. It looks like they've come up with a viable way of dealing with wave 4, so that will only serve to enhance the results.
Yeah, sounds great.
Thanks again, Greg. All right, how's our time? Wow, we're kind of up to almost 2 hours, eh? Whew.
Almost 2 hours, right?
Wow. Okay, so any other questions there that we've missed or anything?
Michael Daniels just posted a comment. He would like to use the multi-EA for back testing if possible.
Yes, I know he's on the list. He's on the list, and of course, all members will get it, you know. But we want to get this EA out first. They make sure that the 123 is working properly and so forth. And this multi-signal one is just I'm the only one that has tested it, so I don't even know if it's going to work going forward. So we'll see. But I like it anyways.
Good work, Lennox and George.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Peter.
Actually, I can actually give you guys a quick boo at it. It's multi-signal. There it is. Okay, so I'll show you. Just show you what it looks like. You don't have any inputs to do. It's just so it makes it easy. Does the magic number and everything internally. All you got to do is set your trade size. That's it. So pretty straightforward. You just set your trade size. I've got to set at 1 and 1 lot, and then you just run it against whatever. So here I am, and 4-hour time frame is the default. So here I am with gold. If I ran this against gold, I'll just do a 6-month run on gold, for example. Let's see. Let's go boom, and then just run it. Let's see. And so this is what it does. And it's done. And let's see the graph. And that's the graph. That's the kind of graph you want to, you'd like to see. And there's the report. So it gave me a total net profit of 42 grand with 1 lot. Not too shabby. Total trades 33. Average profit is over 3 grand per trade, and average loss is $1,000. So with again, if you did it as 0.1 lot, this would all be cut back, of course, to $110 loss on each average and $325 win. So you're looking at about 3 to 1, right? So not bad overall, but it's a great one, and it just does everything for you. You don't have to touch it, and it automatically goes in and out of the trades really nicely and gets nice profits. But like I say, there's a lot of work to it. That's one, and then that I have another one that let's see, this is it here. So I'm trying to decide which one to kind of go with. This one gives us, yes, lots of options. So what this one does, and again, I'll default it to minimalist and so forth. It does lot size. I'll default that to 0.1, and so basically, what this one does is you can choose different. I teach the different candle formations. Each candle formation, if we have a hammer, the hammer is actually a 1, 2, 3 on the lower time frame. So we get a hammer on the daily. It's a 1, 2, 3 on the 1 hour time frame. So once you understand that concept, this is basically what we're doing in the EA. Is you can take the hammer and run the hammer. You set that to true, and you say, okay, run this hammer, and let's see what it gives us. And you run it, and it will give you the results. And there's your graph, and there's your report. And in this case, it gives you a total of $1,900, 21 trades, $437 average profit, $119 loss on gold. So that's the kind of run you can on that. So you can do that with any of the different hammers and different patterns. You got engulfing candle, inside bar, black crow, 3 crows, all kinds of different ones. But all these candle formations are 1, 2, 3s. So this is all based on the 1, 2, 3, and that's the beauty of it. Okay, so that's that's the one I'd like to have everyone have, and so on. But we'll see how it all works out there. All right, so that's a look at bonus stuff for you guys. Once we get this final enhancement that we have with 123 in.
A question from Saeed here.
Yes.
Says, did George say he does not recommend using EA with Oanda in USA?
I mean, you can use it. We don't. We haven't tested it forward enough, so you can try it and test it and see how it works. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm using Oanda. I'm using Oanda on a demo just to test it out. It was doing quite well.
You're not in the United States, though.
I'm not in the United States, no.
In the United States, if you use it with only one trade on a pair, you will be okay. But if you try multiple trades on the same pair, you're going to have problems with Oanda because of their peculiar ruling system that they have. And what I have found as a problem with Oanda is that their support service is practically non-existent. I don't get a question answered, and I have a live account with them too, so I don't get a question answered for maybe 1 or 2 days, and that's not the way I like to trade.
Saeed, you say your screen is frozen. Lennox has been demonstrating, so I'm not sure what's going on with your screen. Maybe you could let me know if it's still frozen.
I guess you could try to rejoin. Okay, any other questions?
Michael Daniels says that it looks promising, what you were just demonstrating.
Oh yeah, it's great, Michael. I mean, I have it. I'm testing it live as well. That both of those, the multi-signal and the other one, I've got it live in my account, and yeah, it's working nicely. So again, back testing is one thing. Like I say, you can see those charts; they look nice and everything like that. But we going forward, this is the real test. And the thing about going forward testing is, do you have the patience to let the EA do its thing? That's the tough part, because it's you want to jump in and do things and so forth. But like I just did with gold, right? You get a trade on gold, and do you really want to jump in? Was it gold or was it US dollar? I think it was US dollar. Yeah, US dollar. Do you want to jump in and trade and touch this, or just let it be? If I let it be, right, that might be a losing trade. That's just something you have to live with, or you just leave it alone. So this is the tough part. It's the patience and so forth. If you can, we highly recommend you just let it be, especially in demo. Just leave it alone. Let it just run it, and so you can gather stats and see how it does. We need those statistics to be able to say, okay, we see what's going on and we can improve it by doing this and that. So Greg has been fantastic that way. He's not touched his demo accounts, and we've got the VPS running live with and demo with not touching the accounts, and it's just great. We get good results and good stats data to test and learn from.
So we're nearing the end of the presentation. If there are any more questions, please get them in. I'm finding it's easier to answer questions that come in through the chat box versus the questions box.
Okay.
It's just easier to read, and it's more focused.
Yeah, wow, we've 2 hours. Well, I thought we'd only go an hour and we'd be good. So this is great.
Good presentation, Lennox.
Yes, I'm excited to really get into the testing of our new strategy there to eliminate the sideways movements. And one of the bonus things that we found with that is, and again, that's something I can show you. I can actually show you this. This is really cool because today I was showing this to George and where was it? And you see, can't remember which one it was now. There it is. So for all you beta testers that know the system and understand what's going on, let me shrink this down so we can see it properly. Give it some room. Okay, so let me make this a little smaller. All right, so you can see here we've come. So if we caught a 1, 2, 3 up here, let me just move this over a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. So if we caught the 1, 2, 3 up here, like say for argument's sake, we got into this 1, 2, 3, and we made some pips down to this area. And then you see we go sideways. So we're trying to eliminate that. And what we found was that when we get into this area, we can figure out, oh, we're sideways, yes, but we can get out of it and still make pips. So instead of losing in here, we can actually make pips in there. So that's another huge bonus. So we can just add to our winnings that we made. And, it's not going to happen every time, but it will happen more often that we're going to break even or just have a small loss or even make profit. So this is what we've been looking at, and it's works really nicely right now. And just a preliminary testing, so we'll see.
And some of the actual testing that we've done when we've been in areas like this, we find that our losses are very small compared to the gains.
Yes. I think in this particular one, we have a small loss of like 2 pips, 2 or 3 pips here. So just beautiful. So this was one of the main thing that we were trying to overcome and we've had so many other things to work on. We haven't had much chance to really delve into this, but we finally I've been looking at this for about a week or so or longer, but the coding of it now we got it down and starting to test it. All right, so it is 8:59 my time. That's 11:59 George's time. It's midnight for George.
Yeah.
Time to go to bed, George. So we thank everyone for joining us. Really appreciate your attendance. Hope we've answered your questions, and if you have any questions, of course still have questions or feedback, or you can always send an email to us, of course, forexmentor.com. info@forexmentor.com for email. And again, this is it here. I'm not a sales guy or whatever, so it's just this is what it is. It's pretty straightforward. We're saving some money if you take the 6 month, of course, and there's also 1 year memberships as well, so you can always do that. All right, so I don't know if there's another slide after this one. Let me see. Oh yeah, there is. Thank you. Very cool. All right,
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for
that's it.
your time with us.
So thanks everyone. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, George.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. A closing comment from Greg Downton. Thanks, legends.
Thank you, Greg. All right, so hope to see some new members come in. That would be great. You're going to be in a win-win family here. So thanks again, everyone. We really appreciate it. Be safe out there. Stay away from people. You know how you can tell that people have COVID, right? You got to get up real close to them. You don't want to do that. So stay away. All right. Take care, everyone. Be safe.
Thanks, Lennox. Thanks, George.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Good trading.